this episode of Southern Indiana Now, we're hitting the road to Washington County. It's becoming one of our favorite places. There's so much to see and do and learn from Washington County, Indiana. And of course, if you're new to Southern Indiana Now, this is a show that focuses on lots of things all about life in Southern Indiana. Of course, we feature Hoosier Homestead. We're going to talk about the culture. We've got Hoosier Happenings. This is things you need to know about. Hoosier Hustle. That's businesses and people on the move. And of course, Hoosier Good News. There's always something good, a story to share, an organization doing good things. We want to make sure you're connected to it all right here at Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask. And we're back on Southern Indiana Now as part of our Hoosier Homestead. We're talking today with Chris with Old Blue River Friends Quaker Church in Southern Indiana. We're actually located in Washington County, and there's just so much history here. So, Chris, this is an old church and obviously open for people to come tour. So let's talk about the history here and how you got connected.
So the history is in the early 1800s, a number of Quakers moved up from primarily North Carolina. They crossed the Ohio River into what was Indiana Territory, and one of the main drawing things was this land was free of slavery, and the Quakers had a testimony against slavery. By 1780, almost all Quakers had gotten rid of slaves, and so North Carolina made it really difficult for people to free slaves. So they chose to leave, many of them did, and come to a land because the Northwest Ordinance has declared the land north of the Ohio River free of slavery. By the early 18 teens, a number had arrived here in the vicinity of Salem. Salem's just about a mile and a half west of here. And they had enough people to start an actual, we call a meeting or a church. And so in 1815, they built this building to house that growing group of people. There were probably 200 or 300 of them here at the time. And so things went well. One of the first things they did was to form a committee to help with Native Americans, to see to their needs. Quakers would not settle on any land that had not been officially purchased from Native Americans, and they wanted to see that they were treated fairly. They also started in 1819 what they called the Salem Peace Society, working for peaceful solutions to problems. They also were known, of course, for being abolitionists, meaning that they sought to end slavery in the United States. So they were a very active group of people. Unfortunately, in 1828, they had a split, a division that occurred, and one body of them kept this building, and they were known as the Hicksites because they followed a guy named Elias Hicks. The other group considered themselves to be the Orthodox or the right-thinking group, and they ended up moving a mile north of here, okay. And they built a meeting house there. Over time, the Hicksite group died out, and even though they maintained control of the building. And today, the group north of here actually owns the building. Oh. And we use it. It's been restored. It's on the National Register, and we use it for programs and bring school kids out, and people come once a year. There's an annual meeting here to remember those pioneer ancestors who started this settlement. And just it's kind of ironic that new Blue River Friends is a mile north of here.
Okay, so, I love that. Well, thank you so much for that history, and then we're going to check out inside and give people kind of a first look inside the church. And thank you so much for that history. So, Chris, now that we're inside the old Quaker church, let's talk about. This is really phenomenal. It's handcrafted. Yes. Let's talk about how this building was built, because it's obviously different than how we would build buildings today. Yes. So, give us a little bit of a history and background.
So, building like this, of course, the members donated the lumber to that. All this was been cut probably at Samuel Lindley's sawmill about a mile north of here. So you can see the walls are covered with the boards and the handmade benches. We still have a number of those. There is some speculation that this building was twice as big as it is right now. Oh. And that in the 1860s or so, because of dwindling size of the congregation, they may have removed part of it. And there's a little bit of reason to believe that. There's some places along the wall that don't seem quite right. Mm-hmm. Others argue that that's never the case. They can't find any proof of it. Mm-hmm. But what we do know about early Quakers is that typically there was a men's side and a woman's side, and there were two different doors by which they generally entered. And the buildings would have been longer than this. So we're uncertain about that part. What you do notice in this building that's interesting, though, is what are known as the minister and elders benches. So Quakers didn't, at that point in their history, did not have actual settled pastors. They had several people in a congregation who were ministers and elders, and their job was to look over the care of the congregation. And during worship, they would sit up here in what were known as the facing benches.
Oh, so you couldn't fall asleep in the back
Exactly.
row.
You would be visited by an elder later.
Oh,
Why
that
did
would
he
not
fall
be
asleep
good.
during meeting?
Yeah.
So anyway, the fact that that's still here is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so original, and we just don't see very many buildings like this anymore.
Okay.
So
I love that. So if someone would like to do a tour, a school group, history
if you want to do a tour, or you can get a hold of me. I can get a hold of Steve Trueblood, who is a descendant of some of the early settlers here, and they can arrange for that to be done.
All right, fantastic. And anyway, online, someone can do some
Yes, there is a great website. Our Blue River Friends Church has a tremendous website with all kinds of history on there, pictures of the past, and of course, our contact information.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris, for being
welcome.
part of Southern Indiana Now. If you'd like more information about Old Blue River Friends, Quaker Church, and how the history of that, and how it helped settle Southern Indiana, especially Washington County, you can check that out online, or give our friend Chris a call here, and he'll get you connected with all that information. We'll be back right here on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask. The sweetest weekend of the summer is coming to Jackson County Thursday, July 31st through Saturday, August 2nd. Stephen Wilson Jr., Justin Moore, and Tracy Bird will headline Rock the Rind and the Jackson County Watermelon Festival in Brownstown. Join us on the Courthouse Square for 3 days of music featuring 15 of the hottest artists in country music, delicious eats, cold drinks, and of course, all things watermelon. Don't miss Stephen Wilson Jr. Homecoming and the sweetest weekend of the summer, July 31st through August 2nd in Brownstown. Tickets available now at rocktherind.com. And we're back on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask. We're visiting today with Ryan Buchanan with the Washington County Chamber of Commerce. First of all, thanks so much for being part of the show. All right, Ryan, I know that there's no grass growing under the feet of the Washington County Chamber. There's a lot of things happening there. Right. You're somewhat new to the role, is that right? You've been there for...
I've been there, part of the Chamber and Chamber Board for about 5 years. Have also been in a board position for the last 3 years.
Okay.
But as president of the chamber, this is the end of my second year. So
okay,
yeah.
Now that's super exciting. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about what it means to be a member of the chamber, and why is that something that businesses would want to get involved with?
Sure. Well, I think it's really important for people to understand what the chamber offers, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we have the capability to lobby for our membership at a state legislative level to impact some of those new laws and ordinances or different things that would impact the level of local business, right? We can also help solicit for grants and things like that if we have a 501c6 or C3. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people just think maybe the chamber is a social club, mm-hmm. and it's so much more than that, right? Our website serves as a customer retention management service. Mm-hmm. So you can build out a profile as a business on our website, advertise specials, make postings that will then create social media posts on our page where our followers see that, okay? Community calendar that you can announce events and services that you're going to be offering in the future. So really what we try to do, as well as help support your business, we're going to promote your business. Mm-hmm. So we offer ribbon cuttings and other ways that we can help you secure local dollars versus trying to advertise out of county to bring new residents and customers to your door. Mm-hmm. We're really trying to help you capitalize on the local folks who are spending their money right here in Washington County.
All right, so if someone would have some interest, different levels of membership, is it based on your staff size?
There are different levels of membership, and that really just depends on what type of advertisement level you want to be involved in, right? So there are 4 separate tiers to that. It starts around $200 a year and then increases from there. With those different levels comes different sponsorship opportunities and things like that with the chamber and events that we have here in the community.
All right. So if they want to look for a set schedule of events coming up for the chamber, what's a good way to look that
Sure.
up?
They can check out our website at washingtoncountychamber.org.
So Ryan, I know that there's kind of an event that the Washington County Chamber is known for that's held on the square in beautiful downtown Salem. Let's talk about what that event is and how can people get involved? Do they just need to come? Do they have a booth? What do we do here?
Well, it's been known in the past as Friday Night on the Square. This year we're transitioning to more of a Saturday on the square. So it's a longer event, gives vendors more opportunity to have access to the customers in the community. It is held on the square. We shut down traffic around the square, and last year there were about 80 plus vendors there. So booth spaces are rented around the square through the chamber to anyone who wants to do business there that day. There's a benefit to being a member of the chamber. You get a discounted rate. And so really it's a really strong, supported community event. Local people come out. It's a pretty good sized crowd.
Yeah. So people can they sign up now for vendor space?
When
is
we're
that
not
open?
actually selling those just yet.
Okay.
It's going to be in October.
Oh, all right.
So when we announce that, within usually 45 days of the event, we'll start seeing promotions like that.
Okay, well, you can start planning on it, that's for sure. So
absolutely.
make sure you plan on that event on your calendar if you want to get connected with the Washington County Chamber or just the culture and the different businesses and organizations and community groups here that help make Southern Indiana strong. You can do that by connecting with the Washington County Chamber. We'll be back. Wherever you go, our stations have your music, local news, local sports, and local weather covered. 95.3 WUME brings you today's best hits, along with Paoli sports, local news, and weather. 98.7 WSCZ plays the timeless favorites from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as well as local weather and Orleans high school sports. And 96.9 WKLO keeps it country with all your favorite classic country hits, plus Corridon and North Harrison high school sports, as well as local news and weather. Your soundtrack for Southern Indiana is found on 95.3 WUME, 98.7 WSEZ, and 96.9 WKLO. And we're back on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask. We're hanging out at the track, Salem Speedway. We're talking today with Glenn. And Glenn, thanks so much for having us and being part of Southern Indiana Now. And super excited about all the things you have going on at the track. A lot of big things happening this summer. But let's talk about what Salem Speedway is. I know it's a specialty track. You've got a lot of different options available here. There's a lot of asphalt and a lot of high speeds happening on the track. So let's talk about what sets your track apart and how people can enjoy their summer here.
Well, we're a very historic track. It's been here since 1947. It's a high banked half mile with 33-degree bank turns, which is like being on a 3-story building. So when it was built to go fast. So that's what it is. It's a specialty racetrack. You can't race every weekend on it because it's too hard on equipment, too hard on cars. So we just do so many events a year. We actually have 12 this season is what we'll have. We've already had 3, getting ready to have our 4th tomorrow, and just all the way through the season through October. So we got a lot of racing.
Yeah, so if people want a complete schedule, where can they go find that?
SalemSpeedway.com. We have everything. We also have a Facebook page that we keep up. It's usually updated 2 or 3 times a day.
This is making me totally want to race. I don't know. It looks amazing out here.
And the thing, we got lots of variety because we got the big track. We also have the this quarter mile. We race 3 or 4 divisions on the quarter mile. We have a couple divisions on the big track. We actually even do a little figure 8 racing. We'll do that on 4th of July, and we'll do that on Halloween 200 weekend. So
I love that.
we have a lot of different divisions to race. We have open wheel coming. On July 12th, we'll have sprint cars here. They'll go about 130 on this racetrack.
Wow.
We'll have Silver Crown cars, which will be about the same. Then we'll kind of switch gears. We'll actually have monster trucks here August 23rd, and they're going to do figure 8 with monster trucks. So that's something new that we haven't done here before. So we got a very diverse schedule, and it kind of appeals to a lot of different people.
Well, speaking of diverse, you have a lot of different ways to enjoy a day out here racing. Of course, you can have the bleacher seats, and there's not a bad view of the house, but definitely you have your VIP experience. Let's walk through what that is and how people can get tickets to that.
Yeah, well, the suite is basically for groups, and mostly for our sponsors. They have it. We also have rent it out for groups if they want to bring a corporate day, bring their employees and stuff, or bring guests and stuff. We do that. They can get through me or through the website. Just get a hold of me, and we'd be glad to book that for you. It's nice up there, air conditioned, got bathrooms, and
Yeah.
of course we have chair back seating. We also have general admission bleacher seating.
Yeah.
Some people prefer to sit on the old wood bleachers, and a lot
Yeah.
of people prefer to sit up here. So we give
Wow.
people lots of variety where they want to
Yeah.
sit.
All the choices available. And of course, you can check out a full schedule. And can you buy season passes and tickets along those lines?
Yeah, we sell advance tickets for individual races. It's right online. Usually about 2 or 3 weeks before each race, they can go online and purchase them. You can also walk up and purchase them day of show.
Okay, make it super easy. Salem Speedway, make sure it's on your list to do. In Southern Indiana, I'm Kelly Trask. The sweetest weekend of the summer is coming to Jackson County Thursday, July 31st through Saturday, August 2nd. Stephen Wilson Jr., Justin Moore, and Tracy Bird will headline Rock the Rind and the Jackson County Watermelon Festival in Brownstown. Join us on the Courthouse Square for 3 days of music featuring 15 of the hottest artists in country music, delicious eats, cold drinks, and of course, all things watermelon. Don't miss Stephen Wilson Jr. Homecoming and the sweetest weekend of the summer, July 31st through August 2nd in Brownstown. Tickets available now at rocktherind.com. And we're back on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask talking with Aubrey DeFore today with CASA of Washington County. And of course, we are happy to speak with you today. Aubrey, tell us a little bit about the mission of CASA and how it serves kiddos and families in Washington County.
To sum it up in a nutshell, CASA gives children a voice in court. When children are removed from the home, parents get a lawyer, DCS has a lawyer, and the kids have nobody. So basically, we are able to, the kid is old enough, talk to them and ask what their wishes and desires are. And as crazy as they say, some kids say sometimes, I want $1 million in bank account. We will put that in our report because we want the judge to understand that we listen to the children, regardless of how silly what they're saying is.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us about the areas you serve and, does someone have to be from Washington County, and are there other CASAs in Southern Indiana?
There's pretty much, I think, a chapter of CASA in every county, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% for sure. I know Indiana is pretty good size as far as CASA support goes. We only serve Washington County, so our cases will originate in Washington County, but that doesn't mean that we'll stay here. So if a child is placed in foster home in Gary, Indiana, we would travel there to see them once a month.
Gotcha. Okay. So tell us about, as far as the organization, what do you need in the way of support from the community?
Desperately, we need volunteers.
Volunteers.
Way
Okay.
more volunteers. And then monetarily, people can donate their time. We do different things like a color run once a year, a masquerade ball in the fall. They can come and support like that, or they can monetarily support. We have, I think there's a code on our website that you can look at, or even on Facebook to donate. So,
All right. Now, as far as volunteering goes, what does that look like?
Theoretically, it's about 12 to 15 hours a month that you would donate of time. You would see your child once a month, wherever they're placed, and then you write a report every time there's a court hearing, which is usually about every 60 to 90 days.
So you're doing in-home visits?
Yes, you
Okay.
go and lay eyes on the child. Whether they're in foster, some children are placed in residential care, so sometimes you have to go to wherever that is.
I understand that. Okay, so how many children are currently being served by CASA now?
We have a total of about 30 children right now
30
in
children.
Washington County.
Okay, all right. Is that a typical number?
For us, it seems to be average in the
Okay.
20s and 30s.
All right. So if someone would like to connect with you, maybe they want to write a check for a monetary donation. And how is that money used?
Most of it is used, we buy things for the children. We have a backpack program that we give the kids a backpack when they're moved, paper, supplies, our paycheck. We're pretty much based, we're all volunteers except for Tabitha and I, and she's our director. And a lot of our money comes from grants or
Okay.
donations.
All right. Fantastic. So if someone would like to connect with you on that, either to maybe possibly volunteer, do you have to have a legal background? to
No,
volunteer?
not at all. Anybody can come.
Okay.
You go through a background check, obviously, and then about 30 hours of training to get ready for it. And then you absorb some court, and we teach you how to write reports, and off you go.
Off you go. Okay. Well, if they'd like to get connected with you, Aubrey, what's the best way to do that?
Facebook would be great, or just pop in our office. We love to see people come in and ask. That we have a phone number you can call. It for the office. It's 812-883-2190, and we try to get back to everybody, but there is online on our Facebook page. You can go to applications and stuff.
Aubrey, this is such an amazing organization. Can you tell a bit about how you got involved with CASA and what are some of the things that people say after they've been a volunteer?
Well, I have 6 children and I homeschooled all of them. And as they started getting older, I realized I wanted to do something more. We talked about fostering, but with 6 children, we decided that probably wasn't the route to go. So I started doing some research and I looked into CASA, and I've been doing this for 10 years now.
Okay.
So mostly as a volunteer. I just started as paid staff recently. And yeah, it is very fulfilling. Don't get me wrong. You're going to go home and cry sometimes. It's going to be hard. But this is probably one of the most rewarding things besides raising my children that I've done. So.
Wow. All right. I'm sure you hear a lot of the similar things from other volunteers.
Yes. Yes. And, some of us, it breaks us and we have to quit for a while. But it can get hard. But
wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for having a heart for others and being able to pour into children. So, well, definitely doing some great work here. And we're happy to feature CASA of Washington County as part of our Hoosier Good News segment right here on Southern Indiana Now. We'll be back. I'm Kelly Trask. It's all the summer happenings all the time right here at Southern Indiana Now. Of course, you can check us out anywhere you can get a podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, iHeart, all the places. And of course, you can check out our website as well. And of course, we want to hear from you. So you can send us an email at southernindiananow@gmail.com. Maybe it's a show idea. Maybe it's a suggestion. Maybe you don't like my hair. I don't know. We want to know it though, because we definitely want to make sure we're featuring all the things that are important to you in Southern Indiana. So do get connected that way. And don't forget to send in your pet photos. You can submit those via our Facebook page, or if you'd like to send us an email with your furry friend, doesn't have to be furry, it can be scaly. We don't care. We can even have feathers. We want all the creatures on here on our Southern Indiana Now podcast. So do get connected with us. Send us an email. We want to hear from you. Keep it tuned in each and every week. On Wednesdays, we drop new episodes. You'll hear it here first. SouthernIndianaNow.com. I'm Kelly Trask.